when we got sworn in, and we committed to do 100 million vaccinations in the first 100 days, and we're exceeding that. With the grace of God, the goodwill of neighbors, and help of people like you, we're going to end up doing more than that. So thank you for what you're doing. You're saving people's lives.
You're not. You're murdering them. Lying bitch.
I'm going to turn it over to the Vice President. She's got the tough questions.
Hi, Brittany.
Okay, hi.
Hi, thank you for everything you're doing. You are a role model of how this kind of approach can work. And thank you for that, because it's not easy being a role model and being one of the first. But that being said, you're a leader really in the country around what you're experiencing right now and how that can help others that start to pop up, and we intend on doing this around in many places around the country. So what would your advice be to others who are setting up an operation like yours? What did you learn worked and what didn't work, so we can learn from whatever you have experienced?
I think, like I said, one of my biggest challenges was staffing and just how to incorporate. I feel like I had incorporated things that I had worked, as a bedside nurse, getting a huddle together, getting a process together. I have made a actual charge binder, is what I've been calling it, that has everything my charge nurse would need to know to be able to run the site efficiently. And then I'm always available for questions and support. I think that's the biggest thing, is to let them know they're not alone in making decisions, and being able to keep our patrons and staff safe.
That's great. Thank you so very much. You're doing it, and you're making a huge difference, and you are inspiring all of us. So thank you for everything you are doing. It really does matter in such a big way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you a nurse?
I am. I'm a nurse. I'm an RN. I've been an RN for about 9 years now.
Well, I know, having been a significant consumer of health care, I can tell, I know the Vice President knows this when I say it. Doctors let you live. Nurses make you want to live. If there's any angels in heaven, they're all nurses, male and female. And that's not an exaggeration.
That's right.
It's the God's truth. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, keep it going.
I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Chris.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Brittany. She is one of our most dedicated nurses out here, but we have such a great team. Behind us, you can see, this is the site behind us. Takes about 30 minutes to go from the time you pull on to the time you leave. But with me, I have our acting regional administrator for FEMA, Tammy Luttrell, and the head of the Arizona National Guard, Major General Michael McGuire. So I'm going to turn it over to Tammy.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and Madam Vice President. It is such an honor today to be a part of this state's initiative to stand up what I call one of the most efficient and effective vaccination centers, to just be able to see all levels of government and the private sector, as well as all the volunteers, come together to help the American people get vaccinated, is going to help us as a FEMA team be able to go back to California and be able to set up our vaccination centers in Oakland and in Los Angeles next week. The one thing that I would add to the number of FEMA employees that we have deployed across the nation, we have now a total of 991 FEMA employees deployed to help with these efforts. The one thing that we're doing is working very closely with CDC and our public health professionals on how can we reach those in underserved communities. So what we're going to take back when we operate and we open those two sites in Oakland and Los Angeles is we are going to provide mobile teams. And these mobile teams are going to be able to reach those who are not able to drive or get to a vaccination center. We also just want to emphasize that FEMA is providing 100% reimbursable financial support to our states, to our tribes, to our territories, and it's really important. We're also supplemental providing food support, also Meals on, similar to like what we normally know as Meals on Wheels, but to be able to get food to those who are not also able to get out. Of course, we
Boy, he got educated feet. Boy, I practice all the time. Here's one I set up all night.
For them. And we already paying for y'all needy asses now, so the ones that come in that do work because they work, I'd be more than happy to have them. It's you motherfuckers I'm tired of.
Hey, Biden supporters, how do you feel about the 11 million immigrants that are storming our border right now?
And I couldn't agree with you more, sister.
Listen, man, this is it for me. I'm doing my part. Do yours. Try it peaceably, but if not, by any means necessary.
Reasons why we stand in this place, as you can clearly see, this attire is business attire as far as I'm concerned, and as far as many New Zealanders and Aotearoa is concerned. This is a tie. This is a tie to my people. This is a tie to the plight. This is a tie to the very reasons why we stand in this place to fight for our rights. It's very difficult.
White linen, gold thread, my nigga. It's that Levitical. Hey man, this that priesthood flow. You know, we taking our colors back. You know what I'm saying? They try to now connect our colors to all they causes. You know, they took our rainbow, and now our rainbow represents something that has nothing to do with the covenant of Hawaii. So that rainbow, when we saw that bow in the sky, that's that covenant that Hawaii's not going to destroy the earth again by water. He didn't say nothing about that fire though. Drakan Kun. You feel me? You can't take the meting out of the firmament by Hawaii, sealing the deal, my nigga. Some say the red is that Adam, you know, that blood, that royal blood, you know what I'm saying? Some would say that the purple is, you know, the combination of that, the covenant and the royalty, you know what I'm saying, popping off. Now you got the regal Negro. You got the royal regal, you know, that purple, you know what I mean? Either way, it's on the tent of meeting all throughout Leviticus, Exodus, all over again. It's like a pattern, right? It's a pattern, right? So we believe that this is a wake-up spell. Maybe if you see this pattern, maybe you start seeing these colors again, you know what I'm saying? You'll understand something a little differently. Maybe something's going to ping, pow in your head, bro, man. Hey, shout out to my man. Look out for the MHOE. Blue, purple, red. White linen, gold thread, my nigga. It's that Levitical. Hey, man, this that.
Get there.
This big lift of standing up by scratch. As you can see, we're showing you today an efficient and effective operation. In order for us to replicate this and to be able to open timely so that we can reach your 100-day goal, we are partnering with the Department of Defense, also the United States Department of Agriculture, and Health and Human Services to be able for us to replicate, to stand up
and will yet
for
choose
vaccination
Israel
centers. This will
and set
help
them in their own
increase their
land.
access.
And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place.
Listen.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? That made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land, and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern, and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand. That I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him under foot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts hath purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety. And I will kill thy root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. Howl, O gate, cry, O city, thou whole Palestina art dissolved. For there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. Isaiah 15. The burden of Moab. Because in the night Ar of Moab is laid waste, and brought to silence, because in the night Ker of Moab is laid waste and brought to silence. He is gone up to Bajith and to Dibon, the high places, to weep. Moab shall howl over Nebo and over Medeba. On all their heads shall be baldness, and every beard cut off. In their streets they shall gird themselves with sackcloth. On the tops of their houses and in their streets everyone shall howl, weeping abundantly. And Heshbon shall cry, and El-Eleh, their voice shall be heard even unto Jahaz. Therefore the armed soldiers of Moab shall cry out, his life shall be grievous unto him. My heart shall cry out for Moab. His fugitives shall flee unto Zoar, an heifer of 3 years old. For by the mounting up of Luhith, with weeping shall they go it up. For in the way of Horonaim they shall raise up a cry of destruction. For the waters of Nimrim shall be desolate, for the hay is withered away, the grass faileth, there is no green thing. Therefore the abundance they have gotten, and that which they have laid out, shall they carry away to the